Hi, in this video I'm going to be talking through the second part of how the AI work in the solitaire game of Until the Bitter End. In the first video I talked about the first 4 steps of priority when playing the game solitaire, and you put a German chit, so the opposing force, the force you're fighting against, how they're firing against your counters or engaging you in close combat in priority order depending on where your counters are and any detrimental counters that you have on your infantry counters. And in this video I'm going to be talking through the additional, the last 4 steps, the last 4 priority steps, 5 through to 8. Now priority 5 is pretty straightforward. So by this point you've done all the ranged combat, you've done all the close assault, and if you're continuing to pull, if you've got any German counters left that are not covered by those priorities, then they'll be covered by these, basically. Priority 5 is where you've got a German counter and it's got no targets that it can shoot at, like this one here, and but it does have a target within its range, but it doesn't have line of sight. So this tree's blocking line of sight to that counter. That counter, in theory, therefore knows that counter's there, can't get a good line of sight on them, and what you do in that case is you put a snap fire on. Simple as that. Put the activation chip on top of just like that, to show that you've used it. It's now got under snap fire. So if the British then, as the British player, if you then moved your counter out, you would then know that this would fire against you. So basically, it restricts your movement by putting that snap fire on there. Now, priority number 6 is a very simple priority. You're looking here for any German counters that have got a jammed. They've got a jammed counter on top, they can't fire, there's a massive detriment to close assault, so they wouldn't be charging into close assault with one of those on. They've got a jammed counter. This priority, you try and clear that jam, and you use the clear jam rules exactly the same as 2-player. You roll the dice, depending on the outcome, depends on whether you clear the jam or not. You only get 1 attempt at it, unless the counter's got a special rule otherwise, and again you just put that on there. Priority number 7, exactly the same as the jammed, but where you've got a German counter with a wounded counter on top, like this example here. And this is where the German counter will try and apply some field dressing to get back in the action. Again, you roll the dice to see if you're successful, if the German is successful or not. And the last priority, priority number 8, again very simple, is where you've got a German counter in the opposing force against you, but it's not in the combat. There's nothing it can fire at. It's not in range of anything. It's got no detrimental counter on it. And in this case, it would move. And it will move towards the closest British counter on your side. So in this case, it'd be that one. And it'll move its full rate and into cover if it can. So what that means, its full rate is 4. So 1, 2, 3, that would be 5. So it can't move to there. So you'd have the choice, basically, of moving to this piece of cover, or maybe that one, and you just use your own judgment. If there's 2 pieces of cover in equal distance, just use your own judgment as to which one it should do, or randomly roll a dice to move it into there. And then that would be that, and that would be the last priority. So as you can see, the first 4 priority stacks are all about combat, they're about engaging your forces in ranged combat and wounded, and the last 4 steps really are about setting themselves up for snap fire, if they can, or if they've got a detrimental counter on top of the infantry counter, trying to clear that. And they are the 8 steps of priority that you'll play through in the solitaire game. It's a very simple process, and what it tries to do is, when you're playing the game solitaire, is to give the German AI, like I said, it's a very aggressive AI system. They will fire on you if they can, and they will target your weaker counters as a priority. And that's basically the simple long and short of it. Any questions, anything you're not clear about, put something in the comments, or ping me directly, no problem at all. Thank you for watching.